call it the towel drill, and this is part of a whole progression. This just happens to be our catch, hand, reach portion of the progression. So what we're going to do, and in its dry sense, that's all we're doing is making sure that we're getting width on our first step, we're going forward on our first step, okay, and we should be thinking about getting our second step down right here, trying to keep our low pads. The key things, okay, as it comes across is, one is we're going to start with our feet on the line. Okay, we're going to always use this line so I can tell, me being the player, I can tell that I am gaining ground on that step. Like here, the towel's at a pretty extreme angle. We'll mess with what that angle is a little bit. Okay, it's a pretty extreme angle. Okay, you're not gaining a ton of ground. This might even look like the old school drop step, but if I look at it, his foot started here. Okay, and then he's getting at least some of that paint. That is fine with me. Okay, the next big thing is that we call it, he's going to preload his stance. Okay, I don't think or they should be. There's going to be some bad examples of that. But in my stance, I should know what I need to do with my body weight, my feet, all that type of thing. So I'm going to preload my stance, which means my weight should be on the inside of my inside leg right now. Someone mentioned it. It was an aha moment for me years ago. I can't even remember exactly when it happened, but when someone said, if you want to get width on this step, you push off your backside foot. That's how you get width. And you can see it with players. And if someone tells you to step with your right foot from your stance, it's going to go back and it's going to go in. You're going to step underneath yourself. But if I preload, my weight's on the inside of that backside leg, and I push off that leg, we're going to get distance out of that thing. So that's the first thing we're looking for. Okay, the next thing is we want to stab the instep in the ground with our right foot. Okay, not just step to the instep. Everyone talks about instep, but I want to see a physical stab of that instep. Okay, I remember I learned this at this clinic years ago. Okay. I've taught it ever since. I was at California University of Pennsylvania. Guy got up. I'm thinking it was you, Bob, but I don't want to be wrong. The guy stood up and he goes, "Test yourself. If I step like this and I step to my toe, my second step's going to just naturally crosses over. I can force myself, okay, to keep a base, but that's a mental process. We don't have time to mental process. The converse is true. If I hit my instep, it pushes my second step upfield." Okay, and I know Blaine's heard that a million times. Oh, Blaine? Okay, but that's what we're looking for. So it drives that second step upfield. Okay, the one thing I don't like about this is because there's no resistance, they have to run out of it to do full speed, and so our second step gets elongated right there. Okay, so here you can see us doing it. This is our Friday practice. Is a little lighter. We go back to the towel progression during the season. This is Friday during the season, but it's the same thing. There's pushing off the back foot. That's pretty efficient. Pretty efficient. Okay, I'm not seeing a lot of wasted motion. That's going to matter more later. Okay, stabbing that instep in the ground. There's that second step upfield. Probably a little less deliberate than we would have seen. Okay, same idea. Here's a tackle. So the first thing I look at, little wasted moment, a little wasted motion. Okay, a little inefficient getting the step started. That to me, that means I did not preload my stance well enough. Okay, but I really like the first step. Okay, there's a stab in the ground of that instep. Okay, it gets your second step going upfield. Okay, on the angle we're going to go. Okay, that we're trying to simulate with this towel. Okay, and just trying to build positive habits. So here's that was Joe Staley. Here's Zane Beadles. Same thing. That's where you see these guards, you really look for ankle flexibility. When that heel's up in the air, it's almost impossible, if he's not flexible enough to have that heel down, impossible to be real efficient with that backside foot. Okay, but he is gaining ground on that step. Okay, second step gets down. Okay, we're back to Joe. Okay, much more efficient off the inside leg. Something was probably said to him. Okay, and you can see he's actually kind of making fun of it. I remember this rep. He's kind of leaping onto that instep right there because he's sick of me saying it all the time.